What's good, Ravens fans? Today, we're going to talk about the top 3 Baltimore Ravens unicorns. If you guys don't know what a unicorn is, it's a player that there is no other comparable player to them. They are so different in the league, and they play the game a different way. And then you can be the best player in the league and not necessarily be a unicorn, right? There was a season, for example, recently where Cooper Kupp was the best receiver in the league and received the Triple Crown for receiving. However, Cooper Kupp is not a player that no one else can be. Right? If you train as hard as Cooper Kupp, if you have a connection with your quarterback as well as Cooper Kupp did, you can be Cooper Kupp, right? But you can't be Tyreek Hill, even if you train as hard as you wanted to. That's an example of what a unicorn is and isn't. For the Baltimore Ravens, I've identified 3 unicorns for sure. And we're going to start with our 3rd place unicorn, and that is Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton does something that no one else in the league can do. And the fact that he can play every single position on defense is just an amazing thing that no other DBs can do at that high level. Even back in the players who were able to kind of come up in the box, they weren't able to stick receivers one-on-one. Kyle Hamilton can stick your best slot receiver. He can then shift to your tight end. He can then help in run support. He can blitz the quarterback at a high level. He can drop back in cover 2, and he can be your cover 1 safety, all in the same game. He is the player that is able to connect the Ravens scheme in the way that makes it seamless, right? Other players can't do that, and that's why we see the Ravens scheme is so different, because you have a player that can connect the different levels of the team at such a high level. And that's just the way he plays. Kyle Hamilton is also 20 pounds heavier than your average defensive back. He's also 3 inches taller than your average defensive back. All that put together shows that there is really no player in the National Football League like Kyle Hamilton. From the way he plays, from the style that he gets his wins, his ability to do things that affect all the levels of the defense, and from sideline to sideline, he's rangy, he's a good tackler, he's good at deception, he can blitz the quarterback. He can just do it all. And I don't want to rant, but you guys know Kyle Hamilton is my favorite player on the Baltimore Ravens defense. And the reason is because he is different than any other player, and specifically any other defensive back in the National Football League. He is a tweener, but without the tweener, right? He is fast enough to play at the defensive back. He is big enough to play linebacker. He can do it all, and I'm just super impressed by him every single game, and that's why he's the number 3 unicorn I think we have on the Ravens. Number 2 is Derrick Henry. We know Derrick Henry is bigger than every other running back in the National Football League. We know Derrick Henry is as fast as a running back in the National Football League. When you look at Pro Football Focus, it actually says that he is a top 5, I believe, receiver at the running back position in the National Football League. There is nothing Derrick Henry can do, right? And of course, he's a good blocker because his size and his stature. The Ravens have played Derrick Henry before, and we know what he can do, right? For some reason, you can't catch him even though he's 30 pounds bigger than you. We know you can't tackle him because he's also 30 pounds bigger than you, and he can carry a team by himself to the playoffs. Most running backs in the league today cannot do that, right? There are a handful of running backs who are the best player on their team, the focal point of their team, and led their teams to the playoffs without other talented players around them, right? When you look at the other running backs in the league, like Saquon Barkley, who was on the Giants, couldn't get to the playoffs. Christian McCaffrey, when he was on the Carolina Panthers, couldn't get to the playoffs. Derrick Henry was able to get to the playoffs consistently as the best player on his team at the running back position. Even new players like Bijan Robinson, even though they're great individually, aren't able to lift their team up, right? Aren't able to say, look, you guys want to stop us? You're going to need to have 8 in the box. And then, my team can beat you with the, screens and the shots downfield every now and then. But I'm going to get us 14 points. And they'll get us 7 points, and we'll win 21-14. Derrick Henry was the only person that was able to do that consistently. And again, his size, his stature really makes him a unicorn, which is undoubted as soon as he steps on the football field. Lastly, of course, is Lamar Jackson. Now, Lamar Jackson, of course, we know is a unicorn because there's no one in the entire National Football League that has his speed at the quarterback position. No one, right? Even the young quarterbacks like Anthony Richardson, who are really great runners, Jalen Hurts, who are really great runners, right, do not have the top speed that Lamar has, right? And Lamar has lost weight this year, so people think he'll actually be even faster than he was last year when he won the MVP award. There's no one like Lamar. And it's not just Lamar's speed, right? The thing that separates Lamar from players that are coming, after him and even before him is his ability to stop on a dime. Lamar Jackson, and this is not to be disrespectful, has running back moves as a quarterback. Lamar Jackson can stop on the dime, juke defenders, and then get back up to top speed. This is something that most running backs can't do, right? There's a percentage of running backs that are not good at breaking tackles based on their stats. They're not good at making defenders miss, right? Lamar Jackson has the ability to make the best defenders on teams miss, outrun the fastest defender on your team, while being smart enough to conduct an entire offense with his ability to run option plays. And on top of all that, he has the passing ability of some of the top quarterbacks in the league. I don't care what the media says. I don't care what the pundits try to sell you. I don't care about any of that. If you look at the numbers, when it comes to passer rating, Lamar's in the top percentage of the league, right? Let's just say top 10. Lamar's top 10 in passer rating last year. He was top 10 in completion percentage last year, right? He's always been top 10 in QBR. Last year, yards per attempt, he was top 10. Last year, yards per completion, he was top 10, right? And in the biggest games of the season, he also performed at that top level, right? He's one of the only quarterbacks to have consecutive games of 4 or 5 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson is special from a passing perspective as well as a running perspective. Now, does one add to the other? Of course, 100%. But there aren't 10 quarterbacks in the league who can throw the ball better than Lamar Jackson, right? And if you look at the statistics of it, and then also remember, Lamar Jackson is playing with lesser receivers than those other quarterbacks are, right? Again, I don't care what they say. Lamar Jackson is a unicorn because he is very, very good at passing the ball, and he is the best to ever live at running the ball at the quarterback position. So you can say whatever you want to say. That is why Lamar Jackson, to me, of course, is a unicorn. I mean, he's the number one unicorn on the Ravens because, again, he's the best player on the Ravens. I want to let you guys guess in the comments below who are the other unicorns. So you guys do that. But if you guys have already done it, I'll just let you know what my thought process was. Patrick Ricard crossed my mind for sure. I thought Patrick, again, is what I would classify as a unicorn. There's no one in the league like him. His ability to block on the line as a tight end, blocking the backfield as a fullback, his size, his speed, his ability to catch the ball. He is definitely a unicorn, but I had to make this video top 3. But if there was a top 4, he would be there. Another player that, was on the borderline I was thinking about was Roquan. But I think Roquan is similar to other linebackers. He's just really, really good at leadership and his ability to commit to the game, right? His ability to make plays that he sees very quickly. I think other players can do that as well, so I didn't put him on there as a unicorn for the Baltimore Ravens. You guys let me know what you think below. I really am interested in hearing if you thought I missed something. And again, remember, a unicorn is a special player who is different than everybody else, not just a great player. So cornerbacks like a Marlon Humphrey, wouldn't make this list because I can name cornerbacks in the league that offer the same things that he offers. So you guys let me know in the comments below what you think. Thanks, and go Ravens.